Just like having relevant and accurate information is necessary to make sound hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a sponsor of the Spark.
Lipscomb and Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb and Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of the Spark.
Additional funding for the Spark is provided by Christian Brothers University, Mueller Industries, Meriton, United Way of the Mid-South, MyTown Movers, MyTown Roofing, MyTown Miracles, and by Serves.
This month on The Spark, our theme is Empowering Independence. We'll learn more about a nonprofit empowering women to improve their lives through education and community, an organization empowering individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities to achieve their full potential, and a team of local residential real estate experts empowering home buyers and sellers to maximize value while also giving back to our community. We'll also share a special moment from our Spark Awards 2018. Ever been excited by a new idea? Inspired by watching someone lead by example? When we talk about creating change, we start by sharing the stories of everyday heroes making a difference in their own way so we can learn and do the same. This truth is the power behind this show, which is focused on business and community leaders who are leading by example to give back, fuel change, and create new opportunities for the Mid-South. I'm Jeremy Park, and this is The Spark. They're a nonprofit empowering women to improve their lives through education and community. I'm here with the Executive Director for Deneuville Learning Center, Lori Bramlett. Let's start with a history lesson with Deneuville Learning Center, so give us some history.
Okay, well, first of all, Jeremy, thank you so much for having us and allowing me to share the mission of Deneuville Learning Center, which is to empower women to improve their lives, education, and community. And we were founded in 1998 right here in the city of Memphis by the Sisters of the Good Shepherd, but we are non-denominational, and we serve women of all backgrounds.
And so you have a lot of diversity, but with that you have a lot of needs and you fulfill a lot of those needs.
Absolutely,
so
yes.
A lot of programs, but give us a little bit of a walkthrough, because you have everything from the education side, helping get the GEDs, to ESL. I mean, you cover a lot of bandwidth, so walk us through some of those programs.
That's exactly right. So we do adult education for women. We specifically focus on high school equivalency classes, English as a second language, citizenship test preparation, and then we also have computer classes and skills-based classes such as sewing. But I feel like, and I know this is true, probably the most important component of our program is our on-site child care, because the most common barrier for adult women seeking education is childcare. So by offering that piece, we're enabling women who would otherwise not have a chance or an opportunity to seek out an avenue to provide opportunities for themselves and their family.
Absolutely. Talk about, on your end, I look at it as, I mean, a great melting pot. A lot of different cultures, obviously languages, races, religions. Talk about kind of that aspect of it.
That's one of my favorite components of our program, is that we literally have women from 18 to 75 from all walks of life, every socioeconomic background you can think of, and we have women from over 33 different countries that are right here in Memphis coming together, learning together, and supporting each other. It's a beautiful, really beautiful program, and that feeling of community support just within the center among our students is, I think, what helps them as well.
Well, I think too, going back to the child care aspect, the children have a chance to learn from each other.
Yes.
The women have a chance to also learn from each other. You break down a lot of the stereotypes.
Yes.
They're in there together. They're trying to improve their lives.
Right.
So you have common bonds that then form, and friendships as a result, which
Absolutely.
actually bring our community together.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because you'll see a Muslim mother and a Hispanic mother and a mother that was born right here in Memphis coming together and recognizing their commonalities, and the fact that they really, at the end of the day, they just want to help their children and they want to improve the opportunities and outcomes for their children. And that is the #1 reason why our students seek out our program. And when they are able to recognize that in each other, it really does build a beautiful sense of community, and it does translate down to the children. So we know that by providing an education for women, we're helping improve reading and language skills for their children, because in turn the mom's going to go home and read to the kids and help with their homework, and she wouldn't be able to do that if she didn't have the skills.
Absolutely.
So it really makes a profound difference.
What does success look like? Obviously, it's success with each individual who comes through, with each of the women, their family, but talk about some of the metrics that you look at that really help you kind of grade success.
Absolutely. Well, of course, at the end of the day, you know, our goal is to get our women to pass the high school equivalency test or to be proficient in English, but that's never where we want them to stop. So we always encourage our women to let this just be a stepping stone. And so one of our most recent success stories is we had a young lady, she was 18, she had run away, you know, had some really problematic situations in her home life, came to us. She was pretty close, you know, in terms of where she needed to be to pass the high school equivalency test. And so in May, she graduated from our program, and now she's taking classes at the University of Memphis. And so she's not, she was able to get back on track with her life and not be stuck in a situation that 10, 20 years down the road, she would have even more obstacles trying to get back. At that same graduation ceremony, we had a mother whose 2 daughters were actually students at the University of Memphis, which is where we held our graduation ceremony. And so you had both ends of that spectrum, the young girl and then the older mother, and they both achieved the same amazing milestone, and it was just such a beautiful thing to get to experience that.
Talk about how we can help. You have events, obviously there's volunteerism, financial contributions.
Absolutely.
How can we help?
Well, one of the things I always want to make sure people understand is that this is really ultimately about fighting poverty. 70% of families living in poverty are headed by single mothers. So unless we do something about that dynamic, we're really never going to be able to change the face of poverty, if you will. So that being said, I think the best thing people can do if they want to help is volunteer. We have needs for tutors, we have needs for childcare help, we have needs for event support. If you don't have time for that, you know, obviously contributions are incredibly important. We are 100% dependent upon our community. We're not funded by the government or the United Way or the diocese. And so without our community support, we would not be able to provide the services that we provide to our women and children.
Well, last question is the easy one then, is where do we go to learn more? Website, social media, where do we go?
Absolutely, all those things, but it can start with DeNeuvilleCenter.org is our website, DENEUVILLE, DeNeuvilleCenter.org, or by calling 901-726-5902. And
you're obviously everywhere on social as well. You can
Yes.
just type in with Google,
That's
so you
right.
make it very easy.
That's right.
Well, Lori, I greatly appreciate all you do and appreciate you coming on the show and sharing.
Thank you, Jeremy.
They're an organization empowering individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities achieve their full potential. I'm here with the Executive Director for the ARC Mid-South, Carlene Leeper. And let's start with the ARC Mid-South. Give us a little bit of history and context for the work you're doing.
Thank you, Jeremy. Yes, the ARC Mid-South has been in existence since 1950. We provide respite care, personal support, and one of my favorite programs to the seniors to get the support for the many families that are out there who may have not heard of the ARC. So again, thank you for the interview, and we're here to spread awareness and education about the services that we provide.
And talk about, because let's dive into the services.
Okay.
So when you talk about the work you're doing, it is, you have the respite, you have a camp, you have a support staff that are experts, but you know, so much of this is really around helping people achieve independence, their full potential. So let's dive into some of these programs.
Right, and how we do that, Jeremy, is that we teach families how to access the resources through the ARC. And we provide job training, respite care, and we served last year over 525 families through all of the programs. We go into the schools, we help those families understand what their educational plans are and what their rights are. So through the education part, we teach, we educate, and we assist. So the education part leads to the advocacy leads to employment. And when you're employed, families are employed, the community benefits, so we all benefit.
Absolutely. So talk about, let's go into the schools. So let's start there. So talk about going into the schools and working with the IED and the plans and just kind of creating those individualized plans and success.
Right, and that's really important. Parents are not aware, a lot of them, that it's a right to have their children educated in the best appropriate free education according to the law. That means that whatever their needs are and what the plan is, they write it into the plan. If you have a speech impediment, they write that in. If you need tutoring, education awareness, so we write that in an individual specialized plan, not like the children without an IEP. So it's really important to get into school when they're pre-K all the way through the high school, so we can make sure they're educated properly and not graduating and cannot read. Then they fall to our GED program after they graduate and they still can't read, and that's not good.
So that's where on the front end, so the IEP, you have that side of it working to make sure that they're getting all the best and everything in there and creating that plan. And then to your point, if they do fall through the cracks though, then you have the support there to help them on that side too.
The IEP is customized. So when they customize the IEP, they're empowering those individuals to pull out of the classroom if they're not able to do the math or the reading. So they're able to do one-on-one, whatever their needs are. It's not going to be the same. So we customize an IEP, which is what all schools should do.
Talk about on your end then the respite side. You have a camp which is extremely rewarding, and I know the parents, I had a chance to be in an event where the parents were talking about just the power of this camp, that that's the one night they get to sleep, or the 2 nights they actually get to sleep at night.
And some occasions 4 or 5. If it's a summer camp, it's 5 to 7 nights. If it's a monthly weekend, it's 2 nights, say Friday night and Saturday night. So that's huge. The family get to spend time with their other loved ones who without disability, get time to rest, just relax at home. But the good part also is offset that the clients spend time with people, with their peers, and they have a party. So while the party is going on, the rest is going on. So we benefit both. And in the community, of course, it's rewarded because you have less hospital bills, less divorce rate, go down because you're able to unify the family. So it's really important to keep the respite in camps going.
Well, that's a perfect example of, you talk about the ripple effect, right? As you're working to help the individuals, but the families, and the fact that the families can stay together and be productive, and all of those is that ripple effect in the larger scope. Talk about on your end, carry it forward with the advocacy side and the work you're doing to raise more awareness, to help bring us together as a society.
Right, it's really one of my favorite areas, the advocacy part, because some of the families, whether it's not based on income, the economic status, when they're in the schools or going before a judge or whatever, they feel less fortunate. They feel they're less experienced than the professors. So we advocate, which means we're that voice. We speak for them. We help them understand this is their right and this is what you're entitled to. So they listen to the advocate before they listen to the parent or the person with the disability, because we intentionally go in there with nothing to gain except for the support this family sitting next to us. So the advocacy is really important. We're the voice that lives within them, but they can't say because they get emotional. And so we spell it out. We want the advocacy, the education plan, we want the jobs, we want the housing. We advocate for proper, affordable housing, affordable education, free education, and also jobs. So we advocate on all levels, from Memphis to Nashville to Washington, D.C. for the laws. We help our lobbyists understand what our county needs in this area.
Tell a success story, especially when it comes to the jobs and independence and the work that you're doing, really all the way through. You're truly helping families and individuals, and it really is providing them full potential to reach their dreams and achieve opportunities.
One of the best stories I like to tell is it was through the school system. A child with autism was not able to maintain the level of education that the school teacher thought they should because of the behavior. So they advised the parent to take the child home and homeschool. Well, that was not the best advice for the parent. The parents will lose their job. The child is not around people, their social skills are decreasing. So we advocated based on the law. We got the child back in school, and today this child is graduating from high school.
Nice.
So that's really good. And also we did with jobs. People don't realize that if you customize the job based on the child's ability or the adult abilities, then it's a win-win situation for the employer and for the client.
So talk about on our end, obviously financial contributions will help you. Job opportunities will help to come to you with
volunteers.
Volunteers. How else can we help?
In-kind donations, such as anything in-kind, printing, software, IT support, marketing support, like what you're doing. This is great. I just love you, Jeremy. But any in-kind support, in addition to the financial support, will offset our budget. And we're able to hire qualified staff, which is our direct support staff in the community. And also we're able to provide more affordable services to our seniors. And that's one of the things that I have 2 areas of passion, the GED and the seniors. We need funds for that. The GED program is not funded by anyone, so we need people to sponsor that program where we can afford those individuals a chance to come and get their GED so they can have a better job. Talk about where we can go to learn more. So website, where do we go? Website, thearcmidsouth.org. Call our office, I'm always there, 327-2473. Again, we're at 3485 Poplar Avenue, right on the corner of Poplar and Howler, next to Buster. Well, Carlene, we greatly appreciate all you do, and I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing. Thank you. Thank you for your time, Jeremy.
The Spark Awards annually recognize and celebrate individuals and organizations that have made outstanding contributions to the community. This year's recipient of the Individual Youth Award is Eliana Hills.
I'm a St. George's student. I'm a senior, and my mom has cerebral palsy, which affects each person who has it differently, but for her it means that she's wheelchair bound and can't walk. I started helping out with my family at a really young age. Things like making lunches for my brothers and doing laundry, doing extra chores, helping make sure my mom's okay. So it's really in my heart to care for people from a young age. So that's kind of why I feel like I wanted to be active in my community growing up.
Tell me about the Lunch Bag Project.
When I was in my freshman year of high school, we got together and decided that we were going to make bags of food, water, and other like small resources that could fit in like a Ziploc bag to hand out to homeless people within the community. So that's kind of what I thought I wanted to do originally, was use funds to make as many bags as possible and put flyers for Memphis Rocks in there and get them to be able to come in. Memphis Rocks is a climbing gym in Soulsville built by Tom Shadyac, and basically he had a vision and he wanted a climbing gym in Soulsville, and people thought he was kind of crazy for wanting to put it there, but in my opinion it's all about perspective. Like, he saw something and he made it happen, and it's beautiful.
And so carry that forward, because now, I mean, this really has paved the way for a big part of what you're doing is you're creating fundraising dinners and opportunities to basically allow youth the chance who wouldn't normally have an access point, but to go in and experience Memphis Rocks.
So after visiting Memphis Rocks several times, just kind of struck my heart to get children in there, just because the vitality in youth, the energy of being able to use your body in ways that everyone doesn't necessarily get the chance to be able to do. And bringing it together in a sense of communal learning and experience just ties everything together. And I wanted as many people to be able to experience this as possible, which is why I wanted to fundraise through Napa Cafe to be able to make this happen.
And so what did you learn in that process? Because obviously to see people come together, to see something that you had as your thought, hey, I want to do this, and next thing you know, it's actually happening, and Tom Shadyac himself shows up to the dinner. So what was it like to see this dinner actually come to fruition?
It was really exciting to see not only my teachers, but people that I didn't even know show up at my dinner, because they were just touched by not only the vision of Memphis Rocks, but that a young person was trying to make something in their community happen. And it really made me so happy to see people show up and actually be supporting what I was doing. Not only has my family enjoyed it, but when I first visited, before it was even open, just the atmosphere makes me feel so happy, just because everyone's working together kind of to make this happen. And even if you're experienced or non-experienced, they're going to give you tips and egg you on and be kind to you. And it just really promotes a sense of community in a place where not many people might get to experience that.
They're a team of local residential real estate experts empowering home buyers and sellers to maximize value while also giving back to the community. I'm here with Terry Porter. She is a listing agent and owner with the Porter Group, but also a realtor with Keller Williams Realty. And Keller Williams Realty, well-known name, established not just right here in the Memphis and Mid-South, but also nationwide, doing amazing things. Give us some history and a little background for Keller Williams Realty.
Absolutely, and thank you, Jeremy, for having me today. Keller Williams is the largest real estate company in the world. We're global. There's over 181,000 agents with Keller Williams. Started way back in the 1980s. Gary Keller's the CEO of Keller Williams, but it is worldwide. We're global, so it's a huge company, and we're excited to be there.
Talk about technology, because obviously technology plays a vital role in what you're doing, the ability to house shop on your phone now with mobile apps. So talk about technology.
Keller Williams is really a technology company at this point. They've invested billions of dollars into the technology as far as like our mobile app that we have. And this next year in 2019, there's going to be a lot of changes with technology at Keller Williams. They're changing the app. They're changing everything about what we do as far as the interface with clients. So we're really excited about that. We've had some training this year, and they're looking to roll that out next spring.
On your end with the Porter Group, talk about kind of the expertise of being local, knowing the market, the value, and share kind of that perspective of just working with experts.
Yeah, this our team is local here in Memphis area. We're also, over half of us are licensed in Mississippi as well. So we're Tennessee and Mississippi. And it's super important to deal with people who not only have lived in the area, raised their families and that kind of thing, experience the schools, go to the same Kroger that you do, but that know the real estate industry and that watch the market on a daily basis.
Share, obviously on your end, you're on the front lines on both sides with the buyers and the sellers.
Right.
What are some of the trends, especially with 2019, the do-it-yourself, but I mean, what are some of the things that you're looking at that you think on both sides people really need to be paying attention to, maybe some tips? Give us some of those.
As far as their homes and value and that sort of thing. Well, we're looking at a robust 2019 right now. Everything's indicating that, so we're pretty excited about that. As far as their homes and maximizing the value in their homes, it's really important to maybe call an expert, call someone to come out and talk to them about some things that you're thinking about doing to maximize your home before you invest a lot of money in it.
Smart.
We've had so many people that will go and look at their home and they've put a ton of money in something that was not going to increase the value of their home. It was great for them and aesthetically wonderful. But we love to come and see that on the front end and then be able to speak into that so that we can actually help them that way.
Very smart. I like that. Get ahead of the curve.
There you go.
Talk about on your end philanthropy. I know this is something that's extremely important. You have a Red Day, which is a day that you all go out and serve in the community, and red is an acronym. So describe
Sure.
red.
Well, red is the color of Keller Williams. Also, one of the 4 leaders of Keller Williams, Mo Anderson, she is the culture keeper of Keller Williams, and her birthday is in the first half of May. So they decided at Keller Williams to honor her by having a day where our total company, the 181,000 plus agents, takes the day and gives back to the community. So RED is an acronym, like you said, for Renew, Energize, and Donate. So across the country, the world actually, Keller Williams gives back. Here locally, our Keller Williams has partnered with the Highland Community Development, Highland Heights Community Development. The last 3 years, we've been working with them. It's been really exciting to go and to see all of the revitalization in that area. We've helped them with a community garden. We get back there. The first year it was small and there wasn't a lot going on. The second year more people came out. The third year it was unbelievable. The people in the community had taken it upon themselves to start the seedlings. So we didn't have to bring the plants in that year. They provided their own. We just helped them to enlarge the garden. It's been incredible.
Well, and take it from that perspective is, it's one thing to invest a small amount and then move on. It's another to say, we're going to go back and we're going to adopt this and really focus and be intentional about building those relationships, but also making it sustainable. So talk about kind of a long-term strategy versus short-term.
Absolutely. I mean, anything that's going to really maximize, you just have to stay with it over time and be consistent. And we've developed relationships now with Jared Myers, who they're in the community, and some of the other people that actually live in the community and have anchored it. And having those relationships with them, when we go back, it just enables us to, because sometimes people, if you go and bounce around, they don't know who you are, they haven't seen you, you don't have that trust with them. Now when we go back there every year, doors are open, people come out, we enjoy our Mem Pops together, those kind of things.
As it should be.
That's right.
Give us a little bit of a taste test too. You also do a lot with Memphis Athletic Ministries, with many other nonprofits here in the Mid-South. So highlight just a couple of other ones that are really near and dear to your heart. Memphis
Athletic Ministries, over the past couple of years, we've worked with them. Their mission to lead and grow these young men and women in their 7 centers throughout the Memphis area is just phenomenal to watch them, to just give that hope and that guidance to those young children. So we've worked with them. Life Choices of Memphis is one that's near and dear to our heart. Just because it is about life, it is about thriving, and so we're the presenter sponsor for the Life Walk, which is in the spring every year, generally in April at the zoo. And of course that's a twofold thing. It's to raise funds for Life Choices and then also to raise awareness about what they do as far as helping women with unplanned pregnancies, to mentor them through that, to help them to make some life choices there. Also this year, and it's been going on for a couple of years I think, but we just really became aware of it this year, that they are also mentoring the fathers of these children. So that is something that we're heavily involved in.
Well, tell us where we can go to learn more about Keller Williams, the Porter Group, but also too for obviously those who are looking to buy or sell their homes. Where do we go?
There you go. You go to theportergroup.com. That's the easiest thing to do. We're local here in Memphis. We also have a Porter Group in Denver and in St. Louis.
Well, we greatly appreciate all you doing for coming on the show. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As we lead into the new year and now our 7th season with The Spark, I think it's important to reflect and recognize that we've had the honor of spotlighting literally hundreds of organizations and individuals who are making a difference here in the Mid-South. Just like we saw this month with the Newville Learning Center, the ARC Mid-South, and Keller Williams Realty, we have servant leaders who are leading by example to help others and lift our community. They're empowering independents to improve lives through education, relationship building, recreation and therapy, fitness and wellness, nutrition, job training, financial literacy, and home buying. What makes the Mid-South great is our citizens who have such a generous heart, and you who watch these stories and then raise your hand to get involved and help. So thank you for watching The Spark. To learn more about each of the guests, to watch past episodes, and to share your stories of others leading by example, visit WKNO.org and click on the link for The Spark. We look forward to seeing you next month, and we hope that you'll continue joining with us to create a spark for the Mid-South.
Just like having relevant and accurate information is necessary to make sound hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a sponsor of The Spark.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.